Good morning and happy Friday. It's time to get ready as we get energized for our live Friday morning show. Virginia This Morning is the area's only live local talk and entertainment show, and we know you have a choice of programming, but we're thankful that you tune in each weekday morning from 9 to 10 to see us. I'm always happy to be here with the one and only Amy Lacey.
Thank you for that introduction, Andrea White-Murdoch. So great to have you here on this Friday. We've had a great week so far, and we certainly cover a myriad of informative topics. No 2 days are ever the same here at Virginia This Morning, which is my favorite part of the show.
That's right. If you miss a day, you certainly miss a lot.
Yes, you do.
And it's pretty awesome that from time to time we get a chance to go out and interact with local businesses and groups. I had so much fun on Wednesday.
We had so much fun watching you.
I had the opportunity to meet Leslie Marie Mosley, the founder of Ladies Golf 2 RVA at the Highlands Golf Course in Chesterfield County, along with the PGA associate there. His name is Reed Thorne. He's teaching me how to swing, and I actually got the ball in the air a couple times.
Yes, you did.
You guys
saw you. Oh my goodness.
But yes, it was such a good time. Ladies Golf 2 is a great organization to get involved with. Amy and I will have to get out there.
Yeah, you know, I loved what they talked about, that, you know, women were missing out because a lot of deals in business are made on the golf course. No longer. This group is addressing that, and you have to absolutely love that. And there you are in the golf cart. I mean, always such a great time just to, you know.
And I will say, we parked all of those golf carts ourselves afterwards.
Very nice.
They were so impressed.
Very nice.
They said you can come back and park golf carts anytime. And so, yes, we're pros at that as well.
You can get hired as a, you know, a third or fourth job on the road. Well, you know, it is the fall season, and I had the pleasure of going out last night to Keswick Vineyards there in the I almost said Chesterfield, in the Charlottesville area. My daughter, we were painting some pumpkins. I think I still have some paint on my fingernails that are stuck to the gel on my fingernails because I can't get it off now. But it was just like a really good time. They had a great fall festival there, and just, it was a nice night to eat soup, look at leaves, drink a glass of wine, paint pumpkins, decorate cookies, do a little bit of everything. It was lovely.
And you know, Keswick is one of my favorite areas.
I love it so much. It's so beautiful.
And the resort there, Keswick Hall, that's right outside of the winery, it makes you feel like you're in a whole different place.
I know. It's like you're in a different country almost.
Exactly.
And it's just lovely that we have all of these wonderful places that we can visit just within an hour of Richmond. We are in the perfect location. And, you know, we have Discover with Dave today, too. So he's going to be going to some more places in Virginia.
That's right. We cannot wait. Well, speaking of, here's a quick preview of what's coming up today. Did you know an average of 7 teens die every day in traffic crashes nationwide? That's according to the National Road Safety Foundation. This week is recognized as National Teen Safety Week, and the perfect opportunity to talk with your teen drivers about distracted driving, speeding, and being impaired. We'll talk with an expert on how to start that conversation.
And we have live music for you to enjoy today. It's going to be a fabulous Friday because of it. Individually, they perform as both solo artists and with their groups, and we've had the pleasure of hosting both of them on our live show over the years. And today, these two band leaders come together to perform just before they hit the stage this Sunday at the Tin Pan. Tony Craddock Jr. and Chan Hall are here, and you're listening to a live preview. 2 songs are coming up on today's show, but let's listen in right now. Yeah,
oh my gosh.
There's just something about jazz that makes, you know, everything a little bit smoother and cooler. Kind of like Tom Patton there, you know, smooth, cool. We're rolling into the weekend in a great way.
Just call me Jazz, ladies.
We're just going to call you Tom Jazz Patton.
Easy listening Tom.
There you go.
Elevator music, Tom.
There you go.
All right.
I think we got something there, Tom.
I think so, too.
I think we do. I can see you having jazz as your 24-hour soundtrack. That seems like the type of guy that you are.
You know what? I have been known to like a nice groove. It's been done on the show in the past, but it takes a lot more than just, you know, playing a little jazz to get me going there. So, but very nice. And I have to admit, your golf swing, Andreas.
It was good, isn't it?
Can we discuss that? Very nice.
Yes,
I'm
very
still
nice.
working on it. Still working on it.
Did you that ball that you hit and you looked up and smiled like I did it? Did that go far? We couldn't really tell where it went.
Yeah, it went pretty far. I was impressed with myself being the almost
we loved it.
pro golfer that I am. Now, what I will say is my husband is an avid golfer, and I have always said, no, not for me, not for me. But I don't know, they might have changed my mind.
Yeah, I tell you what, it's worth checking out. You know, the thing about golf is, well, you can do really bad and get in the bad mood. You don't want to do that. But if you have a couple good shots and, you know, maybe a par here or there, and you're kind of excited, you're like, all right, I'll try this again. And especially if the weather is nice. There's nothing greater than being on a golf course when the weather is nice. And this time of year is a great season to golf. All right, let's talk soccer real quick. So we'll jump sports here. We'll go to the Saturday night, the Kickers game, their last home game of the season. Looks like a nice night to take the kids out or the family out for a little football. There you go, not American football. The other one. All right, nice crystal blue skies out there, dark blue. It's beautiful. That means the air is nice and dry, 51 degrees right now. Very light breezes, big differences from yesterday, not nearly as windy. And today we're expecting temperatures to jump to about 73 by this afternoon. And you notice the evening and overnight will not be as cold. We'll start to see a few more clouds coming in. And then overnight tonight, just the mid and upper 50s. So if you got plans outdoors, football game or whatever, you're looking at 60s through the upper 50s. So not a real cold night for us tonight. Nice clear skies, high pressures dominating for us today. That's going to start to slide out of here. Get a little bit of a warmer flow tomorrow and then a colder flow of air come on Sunday, and we'll get a big temperature variation between the 2 days. In the meantime, some clouds tonight, maybe a sprinkle toward morning, maybe a sprinkle toward afternoon. That's it, not looking at rain this weekend. And then Sunday, lots of sunshine. Just some chillier temperatures will be moving in by then. So we're looking at 70s for the next few, 60s Sunday and Monday. And look what happens next week, another warm up. Yeah, maybe 81 again. We hit 81 3 times last week. Maybe. All right, Virginia This Morning will continue right after this. Have a great weekend.
Hello, friends. Thank you for spending a part of your morning with us here. We have now officially launched into our live show. It's an exciting time. Andrea Swipe-Murdaugh is here. Of course, I am Amy Lacey. We are so happy to be here for your Friday.
That's right. They say time flies when you're having fun, and we always have a great time when the A-Team, Andreas and Amy, get together. We've got a jam-packed show, so we're going to jump right in.
Dave Parker has a unique opportunity to travel around Central Virginia and beyond, discovering some fun and historic places to visit. In the Discover with Dave series, today he takes us back in time to 1865 Appomattox. We will share his latest adventure in about 15 minutes or so. That will be a great one.
That's right. He always gives us so much to think about. Well, it's National Teen Safety Week, and it's important for parents to talk with their children and grandchildren about staying fully engaged behind the wheel. An expert shares their insights still to come on our live Friday show.
And talented musicians Tony Craddock Jr. and Chan Hall have joined musical forces as they prepare to hit the stage this Sunday at the Tin Pan Music Venue. They will be filling our studio with their sweet sounds of jazz coming up. Oh, we love that.
We've been having a jazzy morning.
Yes, we have.
All morning. We love it. Believe it or not, you don't need a green thumb to grow a garden. Amy recently went out to visit our plant and tree nursery friends in Ashland for some tips. Take a look.
This segment is sponsored by Colesville Nursery.
Just the word gardening can be daunting to a lot of people, including myself. But Lauren Fitzhugh from Colesville Nursery here in Ashland, you say that everyone, even me, can be a gardener.
That is very true. We hear it all the time, that gardening seems overwhelming. They don't know where to start. Well, just like cooking, you just have to start somewhere. Got to crack a few eggs to make an omelet. And we say the same thing about gardening. Start small. You don't have to buy 20 plants at once. You can buy one tiny plant and see how it does in your yard, and then later go back and purchase more. That's a great way to get started. And you never want to be discouraged when something doesn't take in your space. There's a lot to know about gardening. There's everything from what kind of soil you have, how that soil drains, how much sunlight that area gets. Those kind of things really affect how a plant will do in a space, and sometimes it takes a couple tries to find out how that area really behaves. So that's why we always tell people try again.
So a novice like myself, is there a season that's maybe easier to get started?
Oh, for sure. So as we head into the fall season, sometimes people think it's not really the time for planting because they're so used to spring being a huge explosion of flowers and foliage. While spring is a great time to plant and a fun time to shop, fall is actually the easiest time to install because plants are focusing on their root systems, so they're helping you out as well while they get established. You don't have to do as much work, and the weather's more conducive.
What is a good plant to maybe start with?
You know, we love to let people know that herbs like rosemary, they can be evergreen here. They do very well, and as most people know, herbs tend to be low maintenance. What people don't know about herbs is they can actually take a fair amount of shade. So depending on your space, there may be things that work for you that you didn't think of before. Or small grasses. This is a native grass called Aragrostis, or purple love grass. It's very, very pretty when in bloom, as the name suggests. And right now it's got a bit of a fall look going on, but as you can see, it's a very tiny plant, very easy hole to dig, and a great plant to get started with.
And as far as the questions that someone might have, Colesville Nursery has folks like you who can help in the process. You don't have to do this by yourself.
Oh, definitely. A lot of times when people call us, they think they got to figure everything out on the phone or everything out online because we're very trained to do that these days, be very prepared before we get set to do something. But it's so much easier and more welcoming than that here. From the person that you speak to on the phone to the person behind the counter, to the person that helps you in the field loading your vehicle, we're all very knowledgeable here and we're very proud of that. We love to share everything we like to know. If you need to know how big to dig a hole, how much to water, we have all that information.
And you give me confidence that this is something that even I can do, and I'm a true believer in a plan. You shouldn't get started without a plan. What is a toolkit that folks could maybe put together to get started, or a few items that they might need to get started?
Yeah, well, the first thing you want to do is just kind of observe your space, see if you have a sunny yard, a shady yard, a wet space, and then just get some compost and buckets or a hose to just make sure you can take care of those plants.
And as far as that being afraid, you say we don't have to be?
No, start small. Like I said, you don't have to install your whole yard at one time, especially if you're not sure where to begin. Start with 1 or 2 plants, and you can keep those plants physically very small. They don't have to be large.
What about cutting them back, you know, in the pruning process? When do you know when it's time to start with that?
People are always concerned that they have to get out there and prune. Pruning is only really if you're trying to prompt the plant to do something. We let people know the best time to prompt nice habit and growth is really just late February, early March.
Well, Lauren Fitzhugh, it is always a pleasure to talk with you, giving us confidence one plant at a time. We can do it.
It is always a great trip to Colesville Nursery. You can take a trip there too. They're located at 14011 Nursery Road in Ashland, Virginia. You can give them a call at 804-798-5472 or visit them online at colesvillenursery.com. We have to take a quick commercial break, but we'll be right back with more Virginia This Morning.
Welcome back to our live Friday morning show. Music has been a staple on our live show for well over a decade. Multi-talented saxophonist Tony Craddock Jr. enjoys performing solo and with his band Cold Front and Chan Hall. He looks forward to each and every concert that he does with the groups he plays with. And today we get a front row seat before their Sunday evening concert. Before they play the first song, we've got to catch up with our good friend, Tony Craddock Jr. Good morning.
Good morning, how are you?
I am doing well, and you have taught me something new about you today.
Yes.
That I don't think many people know.
Yes.
So your background, you picked up a saxophone as a result of something that you saw on TV,
yes,
and it led you into your personal and professional career.
Yes, I fell in love with the saxophone via the Weather Channel back in the 90s. That led me to the saxophone and also led me to earn a degree in meteorology, which is the reason for the name Cold Front.
So there's so many things that are now coming together for me now that you've said this. So the Weather Channel was playing jazz.
Yes.
And that's what sparked your interest to be able to play along with.
Yes, I kept going back to the Weather Channel, and yes, it was for the love of the weather, but I think the jazz kept bringing me back. I didn't realize the relationship until years later, but the two have, stayed married ever since.
That is so wonderful. And now you have a love for meteorology and weather,
yes,
and pursued that in
yes,
your college career.
Yes, and then afterwards I realized that my calling wasn't necessarily to be in front of the screen broadcasting the weather, though I would love to do that, is to carry stories to people using weather and music to inspire them and to uplift their minds and spirits. So quick little tidbit, learning segment for the viewing audience. Cold fronts uplift warm air. The cold air is denser than the warm air. So just like a cold front uplifts warm air, that's the objective of the music, to uplift the mind and the spirit and to leave people better than they came.
Wow, what a meaning behind the name. And speaking of the cold front, we want to hear a little bit. Tony Craddock Jr. is going to be playing this weekend on Sunday evening, yes, October 27th, and we get a special sneak peek. So now for your listening enjoyment, Tony Craddock Jr. on saxophone, Chan Hall on keyboard with an original composition by Tony. This is Staycation. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Tony Craddock Jr. and Chan Hall with Staycation, and they aren't packing up just yet. We'll enjoy another selection from them coming up on our live show. Tony Craddock Jr. and Cold Front with Chan Hall will be live in concert this Sunday, October 27th at 7 p.m. at the Tin Pan Music Venue. That's located at 8982 Quioccasin Road in Richmond. For ticket information, visit virginiathismorning.com. All right, Amy. We're jazzing over to you.
Oh, right. Oh, my gosh, that's a tough act to follow. They were fantastic. When we think of small towns in Virginia, there's one that represents the beginnings of one of the most important happenings in our country's history, where our nation reunited. In this week's Discover with Dave series, we travel back to Appomattox in 1865.
This segment is sponsored by Rockingham Insurance.
There are some towns where the importance of it far exceeds its size. Appomattox, for example. Appomattox Courthouse National Historic Park is spread across approximately 1,800 acres in the rolling hills of central Virginia. What you'll find here is a view similar to what you would have seen on April 9, 1865, when General Robert E. Lee surrendered his army to General Ulysses S. Grant. I'd recommend starting in the Visitor Center. It's here where you can get a park map or watch a short movie about the history of what happened here. You can then freely roam the park at your own pace. I really enjoyed the Living History program. The day I was there, we heard from Private Isaiah Edwards of the 188th Pennsylvania.
Of course, we wanted to be soldiers one day, and this was going to be our chance.
These programs are given April through October. You'll also have a chance to see the makeshift printing press that was set up in the local tavern in order to produce parole passes after the surrender. They were issued by the Union to Confederate soldiers to allow safe passage back home. Over 30,000 were printed in just 5 days. The main attraction is the McLean House, where Generals Lee and Grant met.
If you think about it, it truly is remarkable what happened in this house. After 4 years of bloody war, over 700,000 Americans dead, parts of the country in ruins. There were no prisoners who were ordered taken here. Instead, Lee's starving army was given up to 3 days' worth of food. The Confederate soldiers were allowed to simply go back home, helping to fulfill Lincoln's wish of malice toward none, charity toward all.
In Appomattox, I'm Dave Parker.
For home, auto, and farm insurance, give Rockingham Insurance a call at 800-434-7736 or visit rockingham.insure to find a local agent. We've got more in store for you when Virginia This Morning returns after this break.
This segment is sponsored by Welcome Home Financial Partners.
Tax planning, it's a critical part of a retirement plan, and yet it's so frequently overlooked. Joining us now are Ralph and Tim Short, the father-son team with Welcome Home Financial Partners, a Richmond area firm that focuses on preparing people for a successful retirement. Thank you for joining us today.
Thanks for having us.
Ralph, I have to ask, a lower tax bracket, is that actually possible?
It is possible, but it's not because the government is going to do us any favors. It really depends on what you're taking back from all your investments at that point in time when you're in retirement, because you could have some of your investments that is tax-free to you coming back to you, but for the vast majority of the people, everything they take out of their retirement program for most people is going to be fully taxed. So you've got to be very careful what you take out so you don't creep up into the next tax bracket, because not only does that affect the money that you take out today, but it also takes into effect all your other monies that you've already taken. You might have a higher tax bracket on your Social Security also.
Is there anything that you can take out of your nest egg that you don't have to pay your income tax on?
Yeah, so it just depends on how you save your money, right? Ralph's talking about, you know, like a Roth IRA. if you do that wisely and you save a lot of money in your Roth IRA, that could be tax-free to you as long as you play by the rules in retirement. So it's all about proactive planning, right? Tax planning is so often overlooked with retirement plans because everybody's kind of out of sight, out of mind. You get your paycheck, your taxes are withheld, nobody really pays attention. But it depends on what you're saving, where you're saving, could lower your tax bracket or eliminate your taxes.
If we go into retirement with planning appropriately, is there a way that we can really just have more, I guess, longevity with our money and balance out how much we're paying in taxes?
Well, what I would say to most people, they can do all the things they want to do, but it has to be planned. It has to be prepared in order to do that. But for most people, they need professional guidance. They need a fiduciary. They need a financial advisor that understands taxes so that can help them along the way. Because are you able to do your own taxes today? Probably most people have somebody else do them for them, but that's just doing your taxes. That's not preparing to lower your tax bracket by proper planning.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people too that, you know, like a 401k, they're trying to strive for that $1 million mark or $2 million mark, whatever number they're trying to chase. Well, if that's all pre-tax money, if you've got $1 million in that account, guess what? That $1 million isn't yours. So going back to longevity, you know, if you're taking distributions out of a pre-tax account, that could lower your account value in time because of taxation.
And we are going to break the myths today. You know, this type of tax planning, that's not just for the wealthy. This is for everyone. Yeah,
it's for everybody. Everybody's going to have to pay taxes unless you're below a certain level. And of course, at that point in time, it's a completely different conversation.
And I would say also, it's not your age, it's not whether you're in retirement or not that you have to pay tax. Always about income that you're bringing in.
Yeah, and there's a lot of folks that think that inflation is what's really going to wreck their retirement, and it could, right? But taxes that we've seen, taxes is really the biggest factor because a lot of people don't anticipate, you know, if there's a tax increase, all of that money that they got pre-tax, they're going to take a pay cut or they're going to take more distributions, and then you could run out of money.
It can be very difficult for folks to navigate, so that's why people like you are here, and you have an offer for our viewers if they want help in this area.
Yeah, we do. So the first 5 callers from today's program, if they've saved $250,000 or more, we'd love the opportunity to bring them into the office, and we'll create their very own retirement roadmap, which does take a look at tax planning as well. And the best part is, Amy, we do it on a complimentary basis.
This is such important information as we are all preparing for our futures. The information that you provide is priceless. Thank you for coming in today and sharing it with our audience.
Thank you.
If you are at home and you want to make sure your retirement plan factors in taxes, Welcome Home Financial Partners has a great offer for you. Again, for the first 5 callers with a portfolio of $250,000 or greater, they're offering a complimentary retirement plan just for you. This will allow Ralph and Tim to sit down with you to personally and provide you with that roadmap, analyzing where you are right now and discuss your best steps to really get ready for a successful retirement. Here's that number now again. 804-729-0112, 804-729-0112. Virginia This Morning returns after a quick break.
This segment is sponsored by Lightbridge Academy, Glen Allen.
We've just finished an exciting tour of the Lightbridge Academy here in the Innsbrook area of Richmond, and I have the pleasure of being with the team. Mandy Dingra, the owner, Dr. Barbara Valentine, and Kathy Reed. Good morning.
Good morning.
You have been stapled the solution for working families. What does that mean to you, and why Lightbridge right now?
Lightbridge is just an amazing brand. When the family and we were searching for what to launch into Richmond, Lightbridge came across our way. And in this day and age where, you know, people don't have their core values and necessarily what they do as a profession overlapping, Lightbridge did that for us. You know, they stand on community, they stand on family, they stand on integrity, honesty, hard work, just all those core values that everyone has in them but can't really overlap with their professional careers all the time. So when we saw that in Lightbridge, it was a no-brainer for us to bring this amazing brand to the Richmond area.
Yeah, and those core values are certainly something that you want to instill into your children early in their educational careers. And you're doing just that, Dr. Valentine, as we think about innovation in education.
Yes.
You're doing that right here at Lightbridge.
Yes, Lightbridge Academy's curriculum education program really what makes Lightbridge stand out, what you'll see in your typical child care centers. We have a curriculum, the Seedlings curriculum, that has things that will prepare them for that transition into school and into kindergarten. We have the interactive whiteboard technology. We're having handwriting without tears introduced in our preschool and pre-K classrooms. We have educational philosophers. Many people know of Montessori, but we have additional philosophers such as my favorite, Frederick Froebel, the father of kindergarten. So we have those educational pieces that will get your child ready for school.
And your educational pieces are also incorporating hands-on learning in your multi-purpose room and experiences, field trips right here in the classroom.
Absolutely. I love the fact that we have the multi-purpose room for multiple reasons. If it's a rainy day, a snowy day, it acts as a room, a space for the students to get that energy out, but it also gives us the chance to partner with community and invite them into our school and give resources to families. And then of course that field trip component. Having those in-school field trips is always going to make for a fun day.
We can see the Lightbridge Academy difference from the moment that we step foot in the door. You focus on safety and security, even with your entry process and the app available to parents.
Yes, so safety is a big priority for us. It starts when you first come into the door with face scanning. There is no fobs, no fingerprints, or no codes, so it's very individualized. We also have a parent view, which also has cameras in every single room. We also have the cameras up front in the office for any time that the parents want to come and view, their child before they drop off, after they drop off or before they pick up. We also have the Journey app, which gives them a daily report within live time on how they're doing with their diapering, their napping, how they're eating, and their mood, and also activities throughout the day. They'll also get pictures and videos and everything like that.
And that brings me as a parent so much comfort to know that not only am I putting them in the right place, but I'm seeing how they're progressing and how they're responding to the curriculum that you've put together. The other part of this is health and keeping them healthy amongst all of their friends. You've got a special way of doing that that's built into the building.
Yes, for sure. We know that group care can bring lots of germs, so we try very hard to keep all the germs down with our Microcon filters. We also have our big sanitation process that we do throughout the day, and then we also have a cleaning crew that comes in every night and does a all-over clean every day.
Healthy, safe, and incredible education. You truly are the solution for working families.
Yes, we are. With our extended hours, part-time and full-time programs, opportunities to add on extracurriculars, and even pizza day. I think that families will be really happy here with all the options we offer.
I'm just bursting at the seams because you have truly been so thoughtful in what you're putting together and making sure that our children are not only happy in the moment, but prepared for the future, for kindergarten and beyond. And we know that this is going to be a ripple effect of change, of excitement, of beauty for our Richmond area here at Lightbridge Academy. Thank you for what you're doing. Thank you for what you've put together. Thanks for keeping our kids safe and healthy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We are here at Lightbridge Academy over in the Innsbrook area. You might be able to hear construction is underway, but we hope you'll be in this building in early January. So enrollment is underway. Visit them on Facebook or at virginiathismorning.com. Lightbridge Academy Glen Allen is located at 4916 Dominion Boulevard in Glen Allen, Virginia. For more information, give them a call, 804-688-4550. You can find them on Facebook.com/Lightbridge Academy Glen Allen, and their website is listed on the screen too.
National Teen Driver Safety Week is October 20th through the 26th. It's a time to encourage parents to have talks with their kids about driving safely and protecting themselves and others on the road.
It's a big responsibility, and parents need to speak to their kids about this. about being safe drivers. And one thing that parents should be doing, and this goes way before their kids even think about getting their driver's license, is parents need to be good role models. They need to be setting a good example when they're driving. You know, so many parents say, oh, my kids don't listen to me. What's the point of talking to them? Maybe they don't listen, but they watch. They see what we're doing. So if they see us blowing through a stop sign or speeding or tailgating or texting while we're driving, they may know it's wrong, but they figure, hey, if mom or dad does this, I guess it's okay. So it's really on us as the adults, as the parents, to be good role models, set a good example every time we drive, because they're watching us all the time.
The National Road Safety Foundation says distraction can also play a major role.
Distraction for drivers in general, for all drivers, distraction is a factor in about 30% of all crashes, of all fatal crashes. For teen drivers, it's a factor in about 60% of crashes. So you can see there's a really big difference there. Part of that is because teens are less experienced behind the wheel. Also, they're susceptible to distractions like other people in the car, other kids in the car. So parents need to make sure that they say, listen, when if you're a new driver, no other kids in the car with you. An adult is fine, but no other kids. No speeding, no talking on the cell phone or texting. There are ways where parents can monitor this. There are apps now where you can see, you know, if the car is speeding, if they're talking while they're driving. So these are all things, and you know, tell your kids, say, listen, I'm going to be watching this. I'm putting this app on, so you know. And I'm going to be watching. And if you're doing something that you shouldn't be, there'll be consequences. You know, you won't get the car for a week, or no screen time, whatever is appropriate for that, you know, for your family. But set some ground rules and enforce them, because it's just so important that young people know that they've got to take it easy on the road, pay attention, and not be distracted.
In addition to modeling good driving habits and setting some ground rules as a family, there were also resources you can use to start this conversation with the teen in your life, like this one here from the National Road Safety Foundation.
It's called the Passport to Safe Driving. It's available free on our website, which is nrsf.org, as in National Road Safety Foundation. And it has all kinds of tips on how you can talk to your kids about different safe driving issues, from speeding to distraction, impairment, all of that. So I suggest that's something parents should take a look at and use. It can be very helpful.
Another conversation starter for families: if you see something, say something.
Parents should encourage their kids to speak up if they're in a car that they feel is being driven unsafely. And not just young people, anybody who's a passenger can play a role in driving safety. If you're in a car and somebody's speeding or tailgating or just weaving in and out, just doing dangerous things, or texting or talking on the cell phone while they're driving, don't be afraid to speak up. Don't worry about being considered a backseat driver, because it's your safety and the driver's safety at stake. So if somebody pushes back and says, mind your own business, hey, it is my business. I'm in the car with you. You're making me nervous. Just take it easy, slow down, or get off. I'll check your text for you. Just like we have designated drivers. If somebody's been drinking, have a designated texter. It works, and it can keep us all safe.
Conversations that should happen before a teen ever gets behind the wheel.
You're giving them a 2-ton weapon that can be deadly. And with that with your driver's license comes a responsibility to be a safe driver for you, for others on the road, even for people not on the road, pedestrians. So it's just so important that we have these talks and set some ground rules.
We'll share a link to some more information and those resources that we mentioned over on our show website. Just head to virginiathismorning.com. Evan Armour, Virginia This Morning.
Welcome back to our live Friday show. Today's musical guests are very talented musicians who have a passion for great music. We're happy to have them live in our studio to perform for us. One more time, here is Tony Craddock Jr. on saxophone and Chan Hall on keyboard with the song written by Chan Hall. This is Stay a While. medley of staycation and human nature. You know you want to mark your calendars. Enjoy the sounds of them and Cold Front with Chan Hall this Sunday, October 27th at 10 p.m. at the Tin Pan Music Venue, 8982 Quioccasin Road in Richmond. For ticket information, visit virginiathismorning.com. Oh my goodness, we are moving into the weekend feeling jazzy. We will wrap up today's show and share our final thoughts for you in less than 3 minutes. Don't go anywhere.
Welcome back. Another day, another successful show. It's
been fun.
And a little jazz. Thank you to all of our guests today and this week here on Virginia This Morning.
We have certainly had just a great morning, and I feel like we're ready for the weekend now. You know, we've helped everybody else get out there ready for the weekend too.
Yes.
So that's the best part of it.
Any good plans?
Well, my baby turned 7 on Monday. So on Sunday, I will be hosting 20 children, maybe ages 5 to 10. For a
Take
party.
your vitamins.
So it's going to be a fun weekend of celebration.
Awesome. Well, we are looking forward to seeing you all back here on Monday, where we'll start at 8:56.
You know you want to be there. We will see you then. Have a wonderful weekend. Stay safe. We'll see you next time on Virginia This Morning.